Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to show you this video here. This video is gonna be one in a series where we talk about the best cards that are here for us in the new set. The new set obviously is Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and these videos in this series here are going to cover the top 10 cards of each rarity. So here are the top 10 cards that I think are available to us from the Commons rarity. Alright, so let's take a look. These cards are coming out in no particular order. The first one is Ogre Zealous Muscle. Ogre, mercenary creature. When you commit a crime, this creature gains prevent damage and berserker until the end of turn. That's one of the new mechanics you see on your screen, crime. I'll click on it here. It says, when a card with crime enters the battlefield, you commit a crime. If your planeswalker doesn't have the crime emblem, it gains a crime emblem. While you have the crime emblem, perform this card's associated effects. Okay, so once this card comes into play, you'll commit a crime, right? You'll get the crime emblem. That will mean that this card will get berserker and prevent damage. I like this one here. I think this is a good one. What I would probably do is play this card, and then if I have another one, I'd play it right behind it, probably on the next turn. Or maybe you can use it the same turn if it's got haste. The reason I like this card here is because it's going to have berserker. That means it's going to attack your opponent's creatures first, and you got this prevent damage. So that basically means you'll be able to attack your opponent's creatures and then not take damage on this guy. So really cool there. Right, here's the next one. Tumbleweed Rising. Spell card. It's got that plot ability, plot 10. Alright, I'll go into what that is in a second. But it says here, plot 10, create a green elemental token. Then if this card has a plotted emblem, that creature gets +X/+X. X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. This one I think is a surprisingly strong card, especially because this is a common card. Anyway, I'll go into it right here. Plot 10. I'll read to you what it says. If you exile this card from your hand with the amount of mana equal or greater to this card's plot value in the card, this card gains a plotted emblem. Some cards have additional effects when you have the plotted emblem, obviously. Now, what I would probably do with this card to kind of utilize the plot is that I would turn the card off by clicking this. Then once the card, obviously you want it to be off because if you don't have it off, you're going to play the card. What I would do is I would load up 10 on this card, exile it from my hand. It's going to come back. When it comes back, it will have the plotted emblem on it. So that's really good. That's how you get the plotted emblem. Alright, at that point you can play this card. Oh, by the way, you'll have the requisite mana that you need to play it here. Okay, create a green elemental token is what's going to happen. Then because it has a plotted emblem, that creature is going to get +X/+X. That's going to be a permanent buff. X is the greatest power among other creatures that you control. So really, this is going to be one where you want to have that plotted emblem. And obviously, this is going to get the creature to be really, really strong based on the power of the greatest, the best, strongest creature that you have. Right? So this one is definitely one that's going to buff creatures really, really big if you have the plotted emblem. Okay, here's the next one, Giant Beaver. It's a Beaver mount card, saddle 5. When this creature attacks, if this creature is saddled, creatures you control get +1/+1. Now let's take a look at the saddled ability here. Basically, you can read it for yourself, but I'll read it to you here. It says, at the beginning of the combat on your turn, if you control another creature with power X or more, this creature becomes saddled until the beginning of your next turn. X is this card's saddle number. So really, to kind of put that into perspective, what we're looking for is a creature that's on the battlefield that has 5 as their power, or a number bigger than 5. If you have that, this creature is going to get saddled, right? You're going to get the saddled ability here. When this creature attacks, if it's saddled, then the creatures you control will get +1/+1. So that's a really nice buff ability for this one here. I think it's a good one when you have bigger creatures, obviously, so you can get the saddled, and then it's going to help you to get buffed. It's going to, grow your creatures every single turn. So really cool card. Okay, here's the next one, Map the Frontier. For 10, it's a spell that you can play. Fetch the first land support or creature card from your library. Then the last card in your hand gains half of its mana rounded down. So this one is really good. I like fetch cards. Fetch cards are awesome because really they help you to get the cards that you want. And a lot of times decks are built on certain cards, and the faster you can get those cards out, the faster you're going to be able to beat your opponent. And really fetch cards just help you to get your cards faster. So this is an excellent card. I do like this card a lot, especially here with the gaining of mana. That's going to help you to build just your momentum. It's just going to help you to go fast, right? So excellent card. Here's the next one. It's a spell card. Outlaws Fury. Your creatures get +2/+0 until the end of turn. Draw a card. If you control an outlaw creature, that card gains half of its mana rounded down. Again, this is another creature that you can play if you have the outlaw. It's basically assassins, rogues, pirates, warlocks, and mercenaries. All of those are going to be counted as outlaws. If you have an outlaw in your deck and it's down, then you're going to be able to use this card to its fullest ability. You're going to be able to get different cards in your hand, some mana on them, and that's really awesome. I think this is a great card for this set here. It's going to help you to not only get a buff, it's going to help you to get some cards in your hand. It's really a nice card for the commons. Right, here's a good one too. Reach for the Sky. At the beginning of your turn, your first creature gets +3/+2 and gains reach. So there's a ton of reasons that I like this card. This card's very versatile. If you take a look here, you get a buff and you get reach. And what's really good is that this is a buff that if you read the card, it seems like it's something that's gonna happen every single turn, right? At the beginning of your turn. So that's great. We really want that. We're gonna get a buff that continues to get bigger and bigger. As you can see, that 3/2 right there, every single turn. What I also like is the ability that you get here, this reach. Reach is really nice because obviously you're gonna be able to block. Blocking with reach is really effective because you can block the flyers as well, obviously. Now, one thing I would do with this card here is I would definitely include it in decks where you have creatures that have maybe first strike or prevent damage. You know, if you have those other abilities when you combine with reach here, you're going to see that you can really do some good blocking and not get hurt, not take damage. Okay, here's the next one. Skulldigger. For 8, you get this spell. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains Death Touch and Defender until the beginning of your next turn. Well, this is a nice spell card that goes with creatures. This one I would play with a creature that's got that first strike or the double strike or prevent damage, because obviously you're going to be able to block, you're going to kill your opponent's creature, and then you're not going to take any damage on your creature while you're doing all that. So that's super good. Great card there. Okay, here's the next one. Highway Robbery. Plot 5. Discard a card, then draw 3 cards. This is really good. I like the ability to discard and then draw. I think that's really helpful, especially if you're going to be able to draw 3. That's going to be nice because you're going to be able to get cards that you want, right? I think a lot of this game, like I mentioned, is just getting the cards that you want and being able to put them down. This is going to help you to get the cards that you want so you can put them down and then win games. So cool. Okay, take up the shield. This is the next one. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains life, link, and prevent damage until the end of your next turn. There's something important we got to take a look at, right? Until the end of your next turn. A lot of times we'll see cards that will say, okay, you get a certain ability until the end of your current turn, which means that you don't have it after that. Or you'll say something like, you'll get the ability until the beginning of your next turn. That's an interesting one because you'll be able to hold on to that ability while your opponent is playing. Alright, so a card like this, you get prevent damage. If you have a creature that's got reach, like I said, this is going to have prevent damage and your opponents are going to attack. You're going to have that creature with reach. This is going to have prevent damage and it's going to be able to block those creatures and you're not going to take any damage. So that's a real cool thing here. Pick up the shield. Okay, here's the last one. Phantom Interference. For 10, you get another spell card here. You got the 2 sprees. I kind of went over what spree is in a different video, but I'll go over it here. Spree basically means that you'll have the spree emblem on your planeswalker as soon as you start the game if you have a card that has spree in it. Alright, that's my understanding of how it works. And on the turn that you play this, the number of matches that you make will determine what spree number you have here. Okay, so basically, if you have this card and it's ready to be played, maybe on that turn that you are ready to play it, you made one match, that would count as spree 1. If you've made 2 matches, that would be counting as spree 2. For this particular one, if you have 2 matches, you'll be able to use this spree 2 ability, and you'll be able to use the spree 1 ability as well, just because, you know, you have already made the one. In fact, you've made more than one. You've made 2. That's why you have spree 2. All right. So anyway, that's a lot. Kind of play it and then see how it works, and you kind of will figure it out what I'm talking about here. But anyway, spree 1 will allow you to create 2 white and black spirit tokens, and spree 2 allows you to drain 6 mana from your opponent's hand. I like that second ability better than the first ability. The ability for you to drain 6 mana from your opponent's hand is pretty good. That basically means you're going to put them back a turn. But that first ability there, put those spirit tokens down, that's cool too. I like this card a lot because you've got the offense and the defense put together in one card. And anytime you have that, that's usually a really good sign. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys like the video. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. Just, I'd say watch all the videos in this series and you kind of get an idea of what the best cards are, and kind of just target your card collection strategy to collect those cards. That's kind of what I would say. Anyway, that's it for me. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. Like I said, that helps the channel. And yeah, that's it for me. Good gaming, guys.